Waiting for 3 months was worth it. Hello everyone, this is Eugene Finder speaking, and as the title suggests, I am completely caught up with The Promised Neverland, up to episode 11, and I did it all within 2 days. This has been one of my most anticipated anime of winter 2019. I have heard so much about The Promised Neverland, being one of the big new mangas of recent time, but as with any other show, I was an anime only, and I am so glad I was because episode 1, oh boy, it was Happy Sugar Life all over again. Only even more fucked up. Given how this series was from Shonen Jump, can I just make mention that I am so glad that this did not fall in the hands of Studio Pierrot. Instead, we have the studio in charge of Seishun Butayaro wa Banigoro Senpai no Yume wo Minai, Studio Cloverworks, and guess who was the director? Mamoru Kanbei, the director of another infamously messed up anime, Elfen Lied. And with the help of Toshiya Ono, the series composer of Hoseki no Kuni, this anime was in good hands. And indeed, the results show within these 11 episodes. The Promised Neverland is set in a location with an open area surrounded by a gate and fences. At the center is a house with a number of children who live their lives within this location while being taken care of by a woman simply known as Mom. From time to time, some of these children leave the location as they are taken in by foster parents. The anime mainly focuses on 3 of the oldest children of the household, Emma, Norman, and Ray. One night, one of the children named Connie was scheduled to leave for her foster parents. However, having forgotten her stuffed bunny, Emma and Norman rushed to give the stuffed bunny to Connie, and it was then that they found out about the truth of the world that they live in. To give you a brief understanding if you didn't know already, my favorite anime for a while now is Monster. So I tend to have kind of a bias when it comes to mystery/thriller anime, especially if it involves a lot of thinking. The Promised Neverland fits right in that category, and as such, I could not stop watching this anime. Right off the bat, the best thing about this anime is the tension. Because the children need to try and keep their thoughts and actions a secret, there is constantly that looming fear of someone else finding out about them. And big props should go to the camera work, which really likes to trick the audience that someone else might be listening in on their conversations. The animation too should be made mention, especially the facial expressions. You can just feel the stress and fear of these characters as they figure out how to handle their situation. And we cannot forget about the plot twist, because every good mystery show should have a good plot twist or two. The Promised Neverland is not short of such plot twists, and I must say that they were executed brilliantly. The fact that the main characters Emma, Norman, and Ray are also described as the smartest children of the bunch really helps with that aspect. Therefore, some situations which you would have expected to go some way don't turn out that way, because these kids have got something up their sleeves. And with that being shown quite prominently throughout the anime, the audience is left with high expectations that these characters will be able to pull it off in any given situation. Of course, that's not always the case. So, in a sense, the anime becomes very unpredictable because the fine line between hope and despair is about as thin as being hung off the edge of a cliff. This is especially prevalent later on in the series with Norman, as that sense of unpredictability is utilized to the utmost extreme. And even at episode 11, I cannot confidently say what is the welfare of this character. And one last thing of note, throughout the anime, you never get to hear the thoughts of any of the characters. I'm not entirely sure if this was different in the manga, and if it was why some people were upset with the anime, but personally, I think this was a brilliant idea. Because of this, you never really know what the characters are thinking if they don't speak. During those times, all you have is to guess based on their facial expressions. And normally this would be a bad thing, but believe me when I say that it all pays off in the later episodes. This was just as much fun as when I started watching Baccano just last month. The Promised Neverland could easily be one of my favorite anime of the entire year. but a few things may just prevent that. Not only because there is a lot of competition this year, which I'm suspecting Mob Psycho 100 might be a serious threat, but I have a feeling that the anime might feel too incomplete for me to give a solid 10 out of 10. From what I've heard, there is still more to be shown from the manga, and within these episodes, we have yet and probably will not be able to cover the big picture of what is going on in the world of this anime. Another problem that I had with the anime, although not too major, involves this one character named Sister Crone. At one point in the anime, we actually get some backstory to this character, and I really wish that the anime could have actually just added one extra episode solely dedicated to this backstory, because from the looks of it, that backstory seemed like the closest we could have gotten to understanding what lies outside the gate. And also, probably another thing which bothered me was just Sister Crone screaming like crazy when talking to herself about her inner intentions. Like, I know she's in her room, but I highly doubt it's that soundproof, which I believe is another thing manga readers were complaining about, saying that she was actually supposed to be whispering, not screaming. But apart from that, The Promised Neverland was without a doubt an absolutely fantastic adaptation, a fantastic anime, and this is exactly the treatment that should have been given to such popular series as Black Clover and Tokyo Ghoul. Cloverworks, you guys have done an amazing job, and I cannot wait for season 2 if it ever comes out, which, considering its massive popularity, it would be absolutely ludicrous not to make a sequel. I'm just glad I decided to watch this anime after most episodes came out, because those cliffhangers would have seriously bugged the heck out of me. Not to mention, an attention-based anime like this, with clues to remember, really needs to be watched in one sitting instead of a week-to-week basis. And now that The Promised Neverland is done, I've got a lot of other anime to catch up on. It is finally time to home in on the winter 2019 season. I can definitely say that this method of watching seasonal anime really suits me better. For now, do stay tuned to the next time of whatever I make. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.